think I was gonna make it. Who's in her fucking seat?
I will
You
say,
zipped in there quick.
You guys missed watching Meg get dressed by like 5 seconds.
It was literally this was not on her.
She was wearing nothing, and now she's wearing that.
Yeah.
Oh, you
It's
broke
so
the
wrong.
illusion.
Well, okay.
All right, well, welcome to the patch. I'm flipping the thing. There we go. I remembered. Good.
Very proud of you.
Brought to you today by Blue Apron and MeUndies.
I like that we're all now invading everyone's shots. Every single one of us.
Well, you put your feet up first, and then I was like, oh, feet up sounds great.
It's something about a
There we
coffee
go.
table. I feel like I have to put my feet up.
Okay,
Like I'm not using a coffee table properly if I don't.
I feel the same way, but I get in trouble if I do at home. If I put my feet, even like the lower shelf, I would put my foot on the lower shelf. Gavin's like, could you not?
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not allowed.
Gavin's the one defending the
My
home
mom tells me no. I always, okay, mom.
front. Yeah. See, my legs are long, so I was getting everybody shot. I need to stretch my legs out because Free Play did my legs in earlier.
Oh, you had to do like 3 squats, right?
It was
real
more
hard.
than that, okay?
Real hard.
You didn't see.
You're in a week and a half. You're gonna really have to use your little legs.
Oh God.
I know.
Don't
I'm
do that to
excited
me.
about it. The patch today has
Ashley.
Meg.
Ryan.
Damn it.
Hey.
Well,
Well, it was
and
supposed to be-
Meg Ryan.
Oh yeah, we
and
did
the
that again.
Spirit of
Not
Gus.
because of you.
It was supposed to be the physicality of Gus.
Yeah.
Right, but
And-
why is he not here?
Oh,
Can we
too
call him out?
busy. I don't know. I didn't get specifics.
The best part was Ryan was planning to abandon us.
Oh yeah.
What? You were
Yeah.
gonna
I
do
was
it?
gonna take this one off.
So when you came over this morning and
Yeah.
were complaining about Gus dropping out, you were only complaining because him dropping out meant you couldn't drop out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meg, I'm feeling a little unloved at the
Exactly.
moment.
He wanted to abandon us.
Look, I was just taking one off.
He's a piece of shit.
I feel bad. Like I feel like I'm thrusting myself on the audience, right? I mean,
Well,
I'm here
I
all the
think,
time.
Ryan,
You love
I
to
think
thrust
the audience
yourself.
welcomes your thrusting.
I mean, I thought I'd give him a break. I thought I'd give him a week off.
Yeah.
Plus,
Can't
I've
be
done like the
thrusting
last.
all the time.
I've done like the last 3 off topics. I'm like, they're probably sick of me on podcasts. I'll just, Gus will get in there, and I mean, he's on every RT podcast, so maybe they're sick of him too. But he's not on every patch. See what I'm
Nope,
trying to do
not
there?
Not
No?
seeing any of it.
Okay.
So
Never
you're
mind
stuck,
then.
You're stuck with us, but
Yeah.
that means that you can join us in a discussion of like the only game that's come out, The Witness.
Yes.
Well,
let's talk about
there's
that
also
witness.
the Division betas.
Let's talk about
Right,
the
the
witness.
beta.
Yes.
Let's talk about the witness.
All right, let's talk about the witness.
Okay,
Fine.
so-
we just put a let's play for this.
I
up,
mean, for
actually.
those who don't know, I guess you must, if it's fine if you've been living under a rock, whatever, since this is the only game that's released in the last couple of weeks, I guess. But it's Jonathan Blow's new game. He's an indie developer. He was most known for Braid, which came out several years ago. It was last gen, and his new project, The Witness, he's been working on it for years and years, and it's been like really blown up. It's a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ash, are we watching your...
You're watching my gameplay. You're watching me fumble through. So I took this a little bit earlier today when I was like, okay, so it's a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's one of those sort of, I like it. It's a throwback to Myst, which was one of my first real
You
big
say that.
gaming
That's-
addictions. Because it's like you're by yourself. You're solving these puzzles. Except here's the difference: is I go to a puzzle and I go, aha. This makes sense in some way. There is a logic behind this puzzle in The Witness, whereas a lot of puzzle games, I feel like they can be just insanely unintuitive. So, oh well, I hope you connected the binky with the fishing pole in your inventory because you're going to need it now, as you're going to connect it with the life raft, and now you can get through this puzzle.
All right, now clearly you haven't seen all the puzzles in The Witness.
I have
That's
not.
very true.
Yeah, no.
I
not.
feel like I should have brought my notes. Had I known we were going to talk
Yeah,
about the witness, I would
notes?
have brought my notes. I have
Notes.
a notepad.
I mean, your
at
desk is
home.
so far away.
No,
Oh, it's
no,
at
it's not. I
home.
don't play,
Okay.
yeah, I played at home. Gavin and I play, and we sit together and play it. And I have a notepad. I've spent a fair amount of time in The Witness. I feel like I solve a bunch of things, and then I wander off, and sometimes I come back, and you get your little beacons that light
Uh-huh.
up the island. But I got to the puzzles with the shade, where you couldn't
Right.
go under the shade, but then you turn around, and there was like a branch across the thing. So I drew like a diagram of the branch, and then I figured that the last puzzle of that with the gate and the leaves, I thought I had one gate door open. I didn't realize I needed to open the other gate door, so I probably spent like 30 solid minutes trying to like map out the leaves in the gate and where the sunlight would be and why. I just confused myself. So I have all these different like diagrams and everything, and it's really fun. It's one of those games though where you look around and you're like, oh, I haven't been trained to do this set of puzzles yet. Like these are, I don't know this concept yet.
Yeah.
So I got to the right now I'm at the like there's all these weird statues that are like frozen in time, and there's a garden where you go through and it's each different type of puzzle you've encountered so far, and then I hit a type of puzzle I had not yet encountered. So now I'm like going around the island trying to figure out where that training area for that is.
Do they all have training areas? Because
Yeah, they all have.
Just blundering around the island as we tend to do in Let's Plays. We definitely ran into a few that are like, I guess this is the beginning of this area, but it's like sometimes you'll have blocks with symbols in them.
Yeah.
And that denotes something, but they never explain what it denotes.
No, you
so
have
it's
to
very,
find, it's all trial and error,
Yeah.
but you'll get to areas, each area has like a starting screen,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll be the easiest, and you like solve something, and you're like, okay, that worked, I guess, because I have to enclose the white blocks.
Right.
in
It
their
starts
own
to
thing.
introduce you to
Yeah.
the concept, and then it starts to throw curveballs.
Right.
To be fair, it is also very difficult to think logically when you're being screamed at by 3 other people.
That's probably
I would say that's
very
probably
true.
not achievement hunter strength.
Yeah.
Ever, really.
Maybe
no.
part of the fun.
Yeah, alone or in groups. We're
Yeah.
really just not.
Logic puzzles, not so much. I'm not sitting in the achievement hunter squad. But no, I haven't gotten into the quarry yet. I got underground, which I think is going to lead me into the quarry, but I can't. There's a puzzle in the little underground part that I don't know how to solve yet, so now I'm wandering about.
Yeah, every time I encounter a puzzle, I just sort of stare at it for a while and hope it'll expose its secrets. And failing that, I just, as you might have seen with the gameplay, start dragging things around and go, until something works. And that's usually when it'll connect. I'm a bad learner. There was, I went through one of the puzzles very early on where it's the one that starts to teach you about drawing a line to separate the white dots from the black dots. And I
Right,
went down,
segregation, the minigame.
Yeah, it is
Yes,
segregation.
it is segregation in the minigame. So I went through there a whole bunch that are side by side, getting increasingly complex. I didn't realize that's what I was doing.
Oh.
I thought that I just had to draw a line that connected, that went between the two. But I didn't realize it was one had to be on one side and one all had to be on the other side. So I was going through that and getting really frustrated about why I've got all the lines. They've all got lines next to them. Why aren't they going? And finally it clicked. But it took ages because it doesn't just explain. It doesn't handhold. There are no tutorials, which is really kind of cool. It's just explore, try stuff out. It makes sense. Eventually you'll get it, and then you'll feel like an idiot.
I felt that way about the tree puzzles with the fruit that hangs in the tree.
I love the tree fruit puzzles.
I did not realize there was fruit in the tree, and I was like, fuck it. I just trial and errored until I solved the first one, and then I was like, and then the most annoying thing is if you screw up the second one, the first one shuts off. You have to go redo the first one. And I probably solved 3 via process of elimination before I was like, there's gotta be some. Gavin and I were like, there's gotta be. Oh, there's a fruit in that tree. But then you get to one that there's no fruit in, and that one's annoying.
Yeah, the very last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then there's just a couple of broken branches.
And
so
then-
that one I trial and errored because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not sure which broken branch the fruit would have been on, and it just happened to be the first one I tried.
That's nice. And then I lit that up, and the cord goes underground, and it just disappears into fucking nothing. I'm so pissed off.
Well,
you'll
I
find
don't
it
know.
later.
I'm actually following that cord at the moment. So I solved those, and it looks like an old windmill type tower.
Yeah.
And so I followed that. I went around and followed it down underground.
Yeah, the cord doesn't
So-
go down there. It actually, if you go past that windmill, it opens one of the metal doors for the beacon for that section.
Oh, well, I'm underground now.
Heads up. But underground, there's a puzzle there that if you follow the same path I'm on, you're not going to be able to solve yet.
I like it. There was one curveball with the apple fruit tree thingies, and this one took me a while to figure out, where you actually have to look at it from the other side.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out they weren't matching up, and I couldn't figure out why. I was trying to draw the line to approximately the right place where the fruit was. It wasn't working. Eventually looked at it from behind, matched everything up, did it first try.
When we were going through the Let's Play, we were kind of looking up some information on it. I think the developer said that there was essentially 2 kinds of puzzles. There's logic, and then there's observational, where you have to check out your environment to kind of determine how to solve the puzzle. It was, the only thing about the game that is, I'm not hugely in love with is the fact that they're all 2D puzzles. There's not really any
It is
break
draw
in
the
that.
line the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, I'm looking up the exact quote here. There was something about Jonathan Blow saying there was a puzzle that less than 1% of people will be able to solve.
Bullshit, we got walkthroughs. How long does it take you before you go and look up a solution to a puzzle?
We haven't looked up anything. Gavin and I we're going to go the whole way.
You're going to be the 1%?
Yeah. Well, we just were like, we don't want to look it up at all. So we've been... if we're stuck on something, we venture off to something else and then try and come back.
I do on occasion feel like some of these are, there's several of them that are just pure trial and error. Like there is no observational component to it. Like whatever the one is that unlocks the weird old guy in the movie room that he just talks at you for a while. Have you guys seen that
I
part?
haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's basically it's just a start and an end point with a bunch of different variation lines between it. But at least I never did spot a rhyme or reason to the correct series of turns that unlocks it. But if you just do it enough, eventually you can unlock it, and this video of this guy pops up on a screen. I probably should know who it is. I don't. Like, it seems like one of those old film strippy, like, yes, and the humanity evolved to solve puzzles on 2D space or something. I kind of lost focus because, again, mid Let's Play, it's hard to sit and listen to somebody in the game talk for long.
You're already listening to so many other people talk.
Yeah, there's too many voices in my head as it was. And we just wandered
Wait, the ones
off.
in your head? I was talking about the ones around you.
Yeah.
Well, they get in your head after a while. Especially when everybody's yelling at you like, no, turn left, no, turn right.
Oh, apparently, is that the guy?
That guy.
Apparently. Don't show me spoilsies. Apparently, Jonathan Blow's quote was, "There's at least one puzzle in the game right now that almost nobody, like 1% of players, will ever be able to figure out." That seems like poor design to
Well,
me.
you know what that reminds me of is, that early access game? We were talking about this earlier today,
Yeah.
Meg. That early access game is called The Journey of the Light, something like that. And it was supposed to be this 6-level puzzle game where you guide this light through a journey. And it turned out that there was no way to solve the first level. There was no solution whatsoever. And the other 5 levels were just clones of the first level that you couldn't get to in the first place. And the developer had been like, yeah, no, it's going to be super, super hard. A lot of people, it's going to take like months for people to figure out how to beat it.
Piece of shit.
He's like, I got time.
Absolute piece of shit. Do you know?
2 more months to make level 2.
Do you know that there are speedruns already of The Witness?
Really?
What?
Yes. Gavin and
doesn't
I were
surprise me.
looking it up. We are like, do you think there's speed? We ended the speed run right where we were, so we wouldn't see any spoilers. But there are people who are already speed running The Witness. That's crazy.
That's
I
pretty
wonder if
crazy.
they include the 1% puzzle.
I do too. Something about the guy made a joke about it in his speed run, but I didn't quite understand if he was actually joking, or he said something about like some copies
Meg's
of the
shots
game
got my feet.
didn't have it.
Didn't have the 1%?
Yeah, he said something about it, but I don't. He might have been joking.
Less than 1% will be able to solve it.
'Cause it's not
the
in their
ones
game.
that actually get it.
Yeah, but I didn't know if he was. It could have been that he was just joking about how hard it was. To
Maybe
solve, but I
what he
don't
means is only rich people will be able to solve it.
Oh.
the top 1%.
Well, then
Yeah.
Gavin's
Occupy the
set.
Witness.
Yeah, no
It
problems there.
It takes an actual gold bar to be able to solve it. Just send it to Jonathan Blow, and congratulations, you solved the puzzle.
I mean, if you're familiar with the currency exchange rates in high-level IRAs, then
You'll solve it.
that's as much financial talk as I could come up with.
Yeah, I was buying it.
Yeah?
I think the thing that's really interesting to me so far about The Witness is the lack of narrative, especially for someone like Jonathan Blow, who created a game like Braid that was all narrative.
True, but it was also at the time it was also very non-traditional narrative because it wasn't. I mean, you're playing the game
You play it backwards. Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to decide. I was like, this is a thing we can talk about, right? Fuck it. Yeah, the game's been out for a really, really, really long time. You play through the game backwards.
Well, the whole mechanic is time manipulation.
Yeah.
And also I think the story bits, if memory serves, has been a long time, but they're all told like in past tense. So I think it's not a huge spoiler that you're playing the game backwards.
Yeah, so it's,
the big spoiler is something else.
So, yeah, I guess, I mean, it's another non-traditional narrative. It's not walking you through anything. It's not explaining anything. We'll see where it goes.
Well, there is no narrative.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah,
there a
there's
narrative?
zero.
Is there something at the end when I light up all the things that something happens and I learn why I'm on this island?
If it
You know what
does,
I
I
mean?
don't think that would count.
Yeah, I don't
That's
feel
just
like
a
I'm
blurb.
understanding any, like there's no narrative at this point. So it was very interesting that Jonathan Blow went for it.
That's kind of people keep comparing it to Myst, and I feel like that's what really sets it apart, though, or for good or ill, is that one, they're all the 2D style puzzles. I mean, they're different puzzles. It's not like they're all the same challenge, but they are still all that 2D format, which at a certain point starts to feel sort of unrelieved.
Yeah.
And two, with Myst or games like that, there was a story to the island. Like you were learning something about the place you are, and this is just like.
I feel the same way. Yeah, a lot of people aren't making the same conclusion because it's not on an island. But Seventh Guest is the same way in that it's a series of brain teasers. So it kind of reminds me of it in that respect. But there's so much more narrative and like a linear narrative to the Seventh Guest and 11th Hour that I wish was there with The Witness. I feel very like. I feel motivated to solve the puzzles just because it's a game that's out right now and something that I looked forward to, but I don't think I'll be motivated. I wonder if I'll be motivated to finish it because there's no narrative there to like find out what happens next.
So he picked his release window perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, just because but the thing about the release window too, this game was delayed about 1 million times. It was, I'll see how much it was actually delayed, but it was originally announced with the unveiling of the PS4 initially. So we have been waiting many years for this game. It was originally announced in 2009.
You know, the weird thing about the way this game was presented, if you were to say put that on a like mobile device and just have it be a series of puzzles that you just do with your finger, that could easily work for this game.
It's going to be on iOS. It's coming to iOS.
Well, do you still navigate the island? Because that's the thing that makes it, instead of just being a straight mobile game, that makes it feel like a bigger game, which in some ways gives you the expectations of.
Well, you could do that on an iPhone. You could certainly navigate the island on an iPhone, just kind of like how you walk around in Minecraft and stuff like that on an iPhone. That all works. It was originally set to be released in 2011.
But if you didn't have the walkie part of it, then it would just be a puzzler, right?
Yeah. Although I do love the island. It's the graphics in the world are beautiful. I feel very relaxed walking around. It's a nice contrast to doing the puzzles and getting super frustrated with them and just wanting to punch the screen. The island itself is gorgeous. It's the graphics in a way are very simplistic and kind of stylized and hyper colorful, and the bloom, I'm pretty sure the bloom is turned all the way up. But it works for me.
I like it, but I am frustrated by its lack of intuitive invisible walls. So you walk to like a tiny ledge and it's like, well, I can't possibly walk over this itty bitty ledge. I have to find a way down. Like that really annoys me.
Don't you tell me that. I've played Skyrim.
Awful.
Anything
really
can be climbed with a horse.
Yes. Well, not a single ledge in The Witness can be surmounted. You must,
or bypassed. Or,
you have to go around everything, which is really annoying.
Yeah, I do think this game will work well on mobile.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great iPad game.
There's did you guys play Monument Valley?
Yeah,
on mobile. It's Ryan. I think you'd like it. It reminded me of. We got a lot of recommendations to play this in conjunction with Fez when we played that for Game Club. It's a perspective puzzle game. It's for iOS. I'm assuming Android as well. I'd be very surprised if it's not on Android. Where it's a lot of forced perspective. And
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, Escher-esque landscapes that you have to try to navigate. So by turning things around.
Positive it's on Android.
Yeah, there's no way it wouldn't be at this point. It
Monument
might even be on Windows Phone. Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, it's really it's pretty simple and straightforward in that it's like 10 levels of these various puzzles, and all the puzzles make sense in that same sort of way where they're not easy necessarily. Well, they're kind of easy, but you do them and you go, okay, of course, this process makes.
I see the Escher-ness of it.
It also has like a really interesting story in that it has very little story, but some story that you're like, oh, you're so mysterious. I want to figure out what you are.
Yeah,
I want to plumb your depths.
Okay.
Well, okay,
Hey.
Ryan.
Goodness.
Hey.
To plumb
Ryan
your depths.
plumbing the depths.
That's a good way to say it. You
Not
want to
at
delve
all.
deeply.
Yeah. No.
You want to dive in
Ryan.
head first.
Diving in head first.
That's such a gross way to say that.
How is that gross?
I want to fist your brain for the knowledge.
Well, I
Not
mean,
the same.
now you're just making it lewd.
Yeah, but you're already made it lewd.
That's not making it lewd.
Plumbing the depths.
That's-
Good God.
That's poetic.
I want to
Diving in
dry
head
hump
first.
this subject until
All right,
we get
look.
where we're going.
If you want to be dirty with it, then be dirty with
you
it.
already were dirty.
That's
with
not
it.
dirty.
It is. It is.
Ryan, it was.
Both of us had the same reaction, so you know that it's
That you
real.
both have dirty minds? Yes, I know that.
Well, yeah, we're adults. What's the last adult you knew that didn't have a dirty mind?
I'm not going to say.
That means the answer is his wife.
No, it's not my
What's
wife.
the next news?
My
feed?
wife works with vets. Vets are the dirtiest minded people ever.
Oh, I bet every doctor says that. Every doctor's like, proctologist, man.
Yeah.
The dirtiest doctors there are.
I'd feel like they would have to be the cleanest, though, just to kind of counteract the. Like, I've been up an
I
asshole
work-
all day. I need to.
Butts all day.
Let's talk about something nice, like flowers.
Wee.
Or, you need to know how to cook.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
Not only do you feel like you know your way around the kitchen, but cooking at home means eating healthier and saving money instead of ordering expensive takeout again. But where do you start? Blue Apron has you covered. For less than $10 per meal, Blue Apron delivers all the fresh ingredients you need to create home-cooked meals. Just follow the easy step-by-step instructions. Each meal can be prepared in 40 minutes or less. No overwhelming trips to the grocery store. No more sad takeout. No matter your dietary preferences, Blue Apron makes it a breeze to discover and prepare dishes like sea red chicken and mashed potatoes or fresh beet linguine right in your own kitchen. Cook with ingredients you've never used before, like watermelon radishes, farro, and purple potatoes.
Purple potatoes are awesome.
They are actually really good. I roasted them before, and they're delicious. And recipes are between 500 to 700 calories per portion. Delicious and good for you. Right now, you can get your first 2 meals for free at blueapron.com/thepatch. That's blueapron.com/thepatch. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. I actually talked, and all the words worked except for meal.
We're all very impressed.
I'm impressed with me. It doesn't happen that often that I only mess up once.
You feel good about it?
I do.
Your command of the English language is improving.
I mean, I'm plumbing the
Yeah,
depths of the English language.
I've become the same person. What else happened in news? Oh, you're talking about the Division
the
beta.
Division beta came
Yeah.
out. We did. We also have done a Let's Play in that. It's not out yet. But so single player, you're walking around the streets of New York, very post-apocalyptic. It doesn't look as nice as it did in the E3, but it's never gonna really look as nice as it does in E3. You can still close doors.
Well, there's that.
I mean, that was a big mechanic from the thing. They have scrapped apparently they were going to have the ability to kind of second screen in essentially with like an iPad. You could become like a drone. Apparently, that's been scrapped. They
Maybe it'll
felt it
come
was
in
going to be too
DLC.
unbalanced. Well, no, they claim it was going to be too unbalanced for like PvP, which seems like kind of an excuse, right? Because you could just not have it in PvP. But then
That's true, but given that the game is, in a way, it's a persistent online multiplayer game. It's an MMO. It could be difficult depending on how the game is created to just say, oh, drones don't work right now.
well, there's very clear delineation, at least in the beta, between single player or not single player, but non-PvP and PvP. You have to go to a special area called the Dark Zone. And that's where the PvP content is.
But that's where you also get like supplies and stuff, right? Because they were saying something about you wouldn't want to venture through the dark zone by yourself because you're going to get overwhelmed. But you can pick up light supplies. Is there something there? There's like some sort of reward.
So it was kind of a weird system. And again, doing a Let's Play is like the worst way to try and really understand what you're doing because we never stop to read anything. We just blow through it and keep going. If it was explained, I didn't see it. But basically, you have these things that you have in your stash, which is kind of like, it's very similar to your stash in Diablo. So you've got a chest that just has all your storage in it. And you can find things that then you go to the Dark Zone and there's extraction zones. And you go to the extraction zone and you start kind of a mini event where it announces to everyone in that server or that area, someone's doing this. And you can then elect to go attempt to stop them from doing their extraction, which is a helicopter flies in over a certain amount of time, drops a rope. You hook the thing up to the rope and it takes it out. And then later you get stuff. But actually, that was the most fun we had because we rolled in there with a group of 4 and just every time we saw an extraction, we just mobbed it. The interesting thing is, every time you do that, if you start killing other players, like, you're not inherently bad with them, but once you start killing people, it starts attracting more and more negative attention. So you become a rebel, and for a certain amount of block, depending on a certain amount of time, depending on how much damage you did or how many people you killed, you are now like a fair target, and they can get bonuses for killing you. And if you get high enough, like till rank 5, which we did at one point, everyone on the server is basically pointed at you. They said, okay, go kill those guys. And the longer you're alive, if you make it to the end, you get a bonus. But if they kill you, the rest of the people on the server get a bonus. So,
so if one person kills you, they get a bonus? The whole rest of the server gets the bonus? Or
no, whoever's
that one
involved in
person?
killing,
Okay.
I think. We were only on the being hunted side of it. So we
Well, there's a
managed to anger
surprise.
the server, and we kind of hunkered down in a little corner, and just a wave of people came at us. So that was actually
Did you
pretty
guys
cool.
survive till the end?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this was our first time in the Dark Zone, so we're like level nothing. I mean, most of our guns were way under-leveled versus some of the people that came at us. We did get a few of them, though.
Yeah.
Like, the first wave didn't take us down. The subsequent waves, maybe we should not have all been standing in a very small area, because we did
I
blow
just
it
get
up real
like
good. Yeah, a little bit of grenade action.
Just watch one roll in the door and go, uh-oh.
Yeah. We thought we'd pick such a good spot,
In
too, because it was
hindsight,
like there
not
was
the greatest deal.
Well, I don't know. Like, it was a good little hold spot, because it was like we're on a roof with walls on every side, and there was just one ladder that came up to it. You'd think that 4 of us could hold a single entry point.
How did you die?
We got shot to death.
Okay.
Wow, so you didn't even get
it wasn't a
grenaded.
grenade.
Well, no, there was grenades involved, but no, I'm not even sure who went down first. It was someone kind of behind me went down, and once they got up the ladder, they were just all over us. Like, a bunch of them all came up the
I
ladder.
feel that way. There's a part of Resident Evil 4 where you, at the very beginning in the village, did you guys play Resident Evil 4?
No.
Did not.
Oh, such a good game. Shame on both of you. Please,
I'm
make
sure
time
they'll
to play
remake
it.
it again.
Well, it's on, like, everything. And you should play it, because it's one of the best games of all time. Anyway,
Nah.
it's really, really good. When you, but at the very beginning in the village, there's a spot where you're taking on the whole village at the same time. And the best place, in my opinion, to hunker down is one of the little huts where you can put a nightstand in front of the door, and then they break the door, but then they can't push the nightstand unless a lot of them pile up. So you just like pelt them through the door. But sometimes I'd be like, this is so easy, this couldn't go wrong. There'd be some times where they would just come in and overwhelm me, and I'd be like, what happened? All I had to do was shoot through a door.
It's like that time that Anakin, jumped from the low ground and took out Obi-Wan in the high ground.
That's
That's
true.
how it goes, right?
He was the chosen one. So, yeah, Obi-Wan didn't leave him there to die or anything. That's not how
Right.
that.
Well, I
that's
mean, he
not
didn't
how
want to
that
be
works.
the. I mean, you can watch him
At that-
burn,
like,
but
at that
don't
point-
stab him in the face.
Right, like at that point, what do you do? Right, you've got like this person who's laying on the ground. They're gonna die. You wish that they wouldn't, but they kind of have to. Do you actually kill them though? Because then you're responsible for killing them, or do you just like nudge them into the lava?
You're ending their suffering. Like lightsaber them in the face.
Yeah, but that's your
It's
friend.
easier. Yeah, but it's like you're putting your friend out of your misery.
like
It's the
your
final
brother.
gift. It's a final gift to them.
Final gift of a stab
And
in the
a
head.
final gift to the galaxy, to be honest.
All right.
It would have been.
How
It
could
would
he
have
have
been.
anticipated that it would have turned out like that? It's not like Jedis have
It-
foreknowledge
it's
of the future.
like every friggin' James Bond ever. You just shoot him in the face.
You're right. You
and
just
then
shoot him in
it's
the face.
done.
It's true. You do need to make sure of the kill.
Yes.
You gotta confirm the kill.
Don't wait till
Double
he rolls
tap.
into the lava. But as far as I keep saying single player. As far as the campaign-y part of it, I was pretty
The
underwhelmed.
PVE.
Yeah. Again, it suffer. I mentioned this last time. It does suffer a bit from that. Hey, I just shot that guy in the head, but he's still fine. Because,
Oh, right. You were all uppity because shots in video games aren't as realistic as
Well,
you want
it's a
them to be.
human.
Oh, no, I got shot and now I'm healed magically. That's fine.
It's-
But I shot someone and they're not dead. That's not
Look,
fine.
the thread of willing suspension of disbelief is tenuous, but it
I feel like
needs
you're
to be
such
honored.
a ridiculous person.
Put a helmet on. It's
But then,
fine.
was it you, me, and Jeff that were all arguing with this? We were
About
arguing
what?
about this in Australia.
About this? I thought we were talking about the last
Gus?
patch.
Was it Gus? We were saying that it was ridiculous. Oh, you wanted them to put a helmet on
Yeah.
AI players,
Yeah.
and then that real players they have a helmet and AI doesn't have a helmet, so they go right down.
I mean, they could have a helmet.
Right.
Like, you can customize your gear.
But I'm just saying, if it's a player character, they can't go down in one shot because players aren't killed Well, I guess they could be killers.
What
I mean,
if-
Call of Duty happens
That's
all the
true.
time.
That's very true.
What if there are a lot of games out there that do invisible helmets, so that way you can still see your really sick hairstyle that you spent 3 hours customizing on your character, but you still get the benefits of the helmet. Mass Effect did that, I think.
Those
right?
are usually just in social zones, though.
Mass Effect's a single player game,
Well,
and
yeah,
you could
but
still do it.
when you go to like,
Or you're right.
wait a minute, no,
Destiny.
you're thinking
whatever.
about. Wait, I think you're thinking about Dragon Age, right? Could you do it in Mass Effect?
Maybe, possibly.
In Mass Effect,
I
you
don't
had to
know.
go into
Look,
space.
The point is,
We're like, I have no helmet.
The point is, you can have invisible helmets. So
There are some games. you're right.
maybe all those AI characters or whatever just turned on their invisible helmet setting because they really thought their hairstyle was cool today.
Well,
That's
thank
right.
you. You've actually given me a thread for my willing suspension of disbelief. Now they're all
You're
just
welcome.
wearing social helmets.
I'm happy that I could help.
Ridiculous human.
They wouldn't
That
do
is not
social zones.
ridiculous. That's a reasonable expectation.
You're
that
ridiculous.
it's a human character. If I shoot a human character in the head with a gun,
What about when you get shot, Ryan? You don't want to die instantly because it's fucking annoying when that happens in a game. You
Look.
want to be shot and have the red come in and be like, oh, fuck, I'm shot. I got to get out of the way.
I'm
so then when
invincible.
you get behind a box for 5 seconds, you fucking heal, and then you're ready to go again.
everybody knows that the hero is invincible.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine.
You're
I
no
can
one's
get
hero,
shot.
Ryan.
No
You're
one
no
shoots
one's
in the
hero.
no AI don't shoot for the head.
What happens when you heal from one of those? You just
Yeah.
duck behind a box and suddenly
Yeah.
the bullet goes.
Yeah, Ryan's fine with that. Oh, that's totally
Wolverine.
No,
fine.
it's caught in the armor. It's just caught in the armor. You're just brushing it
You're
off.
seeing
Right.
red creep into your vision because you're dying. But
Your magical
Look,
head
that's
armor.
just the impact, okay? You're going into a little bit of shock from all the thumps. It's on the armor though.
right,
it's all
but
good.
all
Yeah.
of them the
Sure.
armor, of
Yeah,
course.
no, you got to dust it off because if a bullet hits another bullet,
What about when you have a med
a
pack, Ryan?
weakness.
What happens there?
it's just it's topical. It's like creams.
Ryan,
good.
Ryan, you're straining my willing suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, you're really fucking with my suspension of disbelief here.
Look, let's agree to disagree, okay?
Why don't we then?
Sorry. The upgrade system works a little weird too, where you basically, at least the way the demo or the beta worked was, it's like base building. So you have skills and you have perks, but the way you unlock additional perks, I think, is the one that you do this with. Is basically you run missions and then you come back to the base. It's like there's 3 different wings of the base, and you upgrade the base to give yourself access to new abilities.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like you upgrade a part, and now you have you upgrade your hospital, and now you have better health.
Exactly.
That's
Actually,
cool.
yeah, you upgrade the hospital wing, and I was then able to have a device that I could shoot at the ground, and it would create like a little healing area.
Oh, interesting. Those don't exist either, Ryan.
No, I'm not arguing that these things. That's the problem. It's like, okay, that's future technology. It heals you, fine. In the future, foreheads aren't stronger than bullets.
You don't know that. They could
I do
be
know
AIs
that.
that
That's
have
how
a
it
plate
works.
in their head, Ryan. You don't know they have titanium skulls.
Look.
Turns out the big twist in the division, everybody's fucking robots, Ryan.
Okay, you know what? Fine. Then they shouldn't bleed red.
Oh, robots can't bleed red? Who's gonna make a robot that bleeds?
Everyone knows robots bleed white.
What? I would have thought like green or
No,
something.
have you never seen the Alien series of movies?
I have seen them, but I'm just saying if I'm thinking of like a fake blood color, like when
Green is
blood,
Vulcans, Meg.
Okay, but blood
Jesus.
is like in a game, it's censored in Japan or Australia, wherever it is.
They
Green
always turn
blood.
it green. It's
Yeah.
always time. Do you remember?
Right.
Did you guys remember Giant Citizen Kabuto?
No.
The game?
No.
So it was a game that came out a long time ago. What?
Sorry. No, there's an Oculus game called 50-Foot Tall Woman, which is entirely a game where you're just like a little person and giant 50-foot tall women in bikinis just walk
I think
around.
we've
Oh.
discussed that before, right? Like that's some crazy fetish.
They chase you and then they squish you eventually if they catch you. But sorry, I didn't mean
and,
to. It was
and
just
apparently
that was
that's
a
very
memory that-
sexy.
Wait, they're sexy?
I mean, they're cute,
Well,
but they're
in
like
bikinis.
huge.
But no,
you
that's-
see like giant labia.
I
just
think this
flapping
came
They're
out-
wearing bikinis, yeah.
Yeah, but
No.
I'm saying, can you still see the outline though? Because bikinis aren't keeping that all under wraps.
Well, I mean, they're anime style, so they're it's
Ah,
all
just like a smooth.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
there's
There's
no
no
moms.
meaty veg.
No depths to be plumbed.
What is plumbing a death? I love it. Plumbing.
Oh,
Thinking
well,
of the fruit type.
pipes.
Yes.
Yeah, but in this game, there are 3 different sort of mini campaigns in Giants. There's one where you play as like these 3 little tiny alien dudes with jetpacks. One where you play as basically this magical chick who's totally topless, and another one where you play as this huge freaking giant behemoth thing. And they weren't allowed to release, like they were going to get a rating, one because of the toplessness, and then also I think they ended up turning the blood green as well. That was one of like the big things. And so they had to put a top on the chick and turn the blood green. They released it, immediately put out a patch saying, here, turn the blood red, here, make your topless again.
Yeah.
Immediately. All they had to do was get the game on shelves, and then they released the patch. It didn't help it sell. Did not sell well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But it's damn shame. I
It is a
tried to
damn
play
shame.
multiplayer multiple times with myself.
Nobody else.
That's all there was to play with.
That's sad. That's House of the Dead also has green. You have a toggle for red or green blood for House of the Dead. That was a game that came out. Obviously, it's an arcade game, but it also came out on Wii. And there was a pistol, like the Wii had like a gun attachment, like the Nintendo one. But there was an off-brand one. I want to say like Nyko made it, and I think it was called something like the Perfect Shot.
It's gonna be Nyko or Mad Cats.
Yeah, I think it's Nyko, and it was like a little handheld pistol that you could put your Wiimote in the top of. That thing was freaking awesome.
I remember that.
And it was perfect to play House of the Dead with. And I'm sad that hasn't caught on more. Like things like Time Crisis could release for the Wii and have like a gun attachment. People would go nuts.
I agree, although after a while, all the different attachments, like, oh, here's a steering wheel, here's your tennis racket, they kind of add up to just one big pile of plastic that you never use again.
You have a giant bin of things to insert your controller into.
I liked it.
To plumb the depths of.
Yeah.
But also, a couple things. People are saying that robots should bleed black because of oil.
Oh, I think that's a good one.
That's an acceptable color as
believe
well.
that.
And the Terminator blood red.
Yeah.
Well,
suck it, Ryan.
He just had skin.
Yeah, but he's a robot.
I mean, the rest of him was probably not black. I mean, red.
Okay,
Why
you
you
don't
gotta be
even know what
racist,
you're talking
Ryan?
about. And I'm just saying, if somebody's making, or like Ex Machina, the movie that just came out, the girl had skin.
She
and
did have skin.
I didn't see what
No,
color
it just
she
peels
bled,
off,
but
though.
it does just peel off.
I don't
but
think she
bet
bled
if
at
you,
all.
I bet if you paper cut her, there could be red coming out of there. Oscar Isaac was a genius in that movie. He could make her bleed red.
He was, but he did
Don't
work. They did have working vaginas.
They did.
Yeah.
That
But that
means,
could just be a
P.S.
fleshlight.
That means that they have vaginal mucus.
It could
of
just
some
be a
sort.
fleshlight.
Yeah.
You may have to like squirt
But
it.
still,
Maybe
I don't
it-
think he was squirting it.
maybe it
He
applies
bent
its
that
own
lady
lube.
over the table, and it didn't look like he was squirting it.
Maybe it applies its own lube.
Do you
Maybe
think
it has
like a
internal lube
cartridge?
reservoir. Yeah,
it's like
an inkjet printer. It has to be refilled every so often.
Your strawberry lube low.
It goes
the-
into the belly button.
And the cartridge is like $200, but you can get like the self-injected refill kit
Yeah.
for like $20.
Yeah. I was
No
thinking about
problem.
would that be like a giant lube syringe that you're spraying in a vagina. This is
Well,
going to
that's
be
gross.
age restricted now. We've done it.
That's what. Yeah,
we've
that's-
succeeded.
We've been trying hard all day to get something age
Yeah,
restricted.
something going to turn out to be the patch.
I feel
You're,
educated.
But that's the Division.
Yeah, your game reminded me of. Did anybody play Earth Defense Force?
No.
It was like Earth Defense Force 2041. I'm gonna Google it. It was a game where giant bugs. You play as like a Japanese, almost like a Japanese police.
2025?
Yeah, maybe 2025.
That sounds real familiar.
And it's like giant ants are attacking the city.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
also an Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair.
Yeah, it was
The Shadow
awesome.
of New Despair.
Earth Defense Force was so much fun, and you could, giant ants. See, it would attack the city, and then you blow them up. And that's what your game reminded me of as well.
Wow, I'm all about it.
It'd be a mech.
It's
Look
been
at
a-
the giant
Be
spider.
a big bug.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
were gonna do a Let's Play on this.
Oh,
at
look,
one
the
point.
ants bleed red.
Or maybe we did.
That looks historically accurate.
Everyone knows.
Do you find their weak points for massive damage?
Oh, absolutely.
What is he
To the
planting?
ants. I don't know what he has. It's awesome.
He's also got a lot of them.
Oh, he's
A
planting
cigarette?
something.
It's funny you mentioned that game because it was a bad week for games about giant ants.
Well, they weren't giant.
it
They
was
were
like-
regular-sized ants.
Oh, were you just made small?
Yeah, you
you're
were
just
an ant.
You're just an ant.
Yeah.
just
Trying
an
to live
ant.
its life.
Ant Simulator.
That-
R.I.P.
Maybe it'll get. No, it's done.
No, it's
I'm
it's
afraid.
legally done at this point from the engineer. Basically, what happened for those who aren't aware, there were 3 guys that were making a game called Ant Simulator. One of the guys was the engineer. He had put his own money into the project. He announced this week that the project was no longer happening because the other 2 guys had spent all of their money on booze and strippers and restaurants. Amazing. And there was no more money to make the game. And he couldn't legally complete the game without them because they were part of like an LLC. And so he was just quitting the project forever.
But he's giving refunds.
He's giving refunds, I believe, for... I don't know if... There was like a whole thing where he didn't actually... A bunch of people thought he funded it on Kickstarter, Ant Simulator, but he didn't. He funded it through other means. But what he did
there was
fund,
Kickstarter for $4,400.
But that was for a different project.
Yeah, that was for a different project. What he did fund on Kickstarter was a series about game development, but because it was on his channel during the time that he was part of the LLC, he had to delete it. So I think he was refunding the money for the people who paid for the game development series, even though he made it because it was then going to be deleted.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Very interesting.
But then there's been a lot of back and
dude.
forth. Like he claimed that it was the beer and hookers, and then they counter that it wasn't. Like that's not what happened.
Oh, I hadn't heard a
there's been
response
updates.
yet. Give me
So
that.
let's find
update.
out, because frankly, I feel bad for the guy. That sucks, and his friends can go fuck themselves. Like, they're not friends, gotta say. But at the same time, like, that way of getting canceled, like, sorry, all the money got spent on strippers and booze, is
right.
one of the most ridiculously Wolf of Wall Street
such a-
rock star ways to burn a game project ever.
So the update that we have here, this is from the article on Polygon, is that Monson Stanley responded to Game Informer yesterday evening to categorically deny
Terashinsky.
Yeah, his allegations, and in turn accuse him of bad faith dealings as well.
Oh, what are these bad? Give me the scoop.
They allege that in late fall he took control of everything at the studio, including the company's bank accounts, and began closing them down or mothballing them.
Well, it sounds like that's because all the money got spent on strippers. What category is that under on an expense report?
Apparently, they say he wanted to take it all for himself and cut the other two guys out of it. They timed his actions right after the Ant Simulator grew in popularity. He also alleged that Terashinsky transferred studio funds to his personal account.
Interesting, because he says that the money is all gone, and also his personal money is all gone.
Also,
they
they're
said
saying he was supposed to get the SDK from Sony and never did.
Is somebody in the booth like ready with the Oprah gift? Because what is the truth? Thank you,
Is that a
Muriel,
gift?
for appreciating my one Oprah gift
What are you
reference.
even talking
I don't
about?
think I
There's like
know
a
enough
great-
about Oprah to appreciate
That's an
that.
Oprah, like an amazing Oprah gift is her going, what is the truth? Also, Whitney Houston, show me the receipts, because I feel like I need to see the receipts on this.
Yeah, it seems like there'd be a paper trail
Yeah,
that would
there's
very
gotta be.
easily denote which one of these people is full of shit.
That's right. Show me it. Show me your bank
Yeah.
statement.
Well, apparently the money's been moved around too much. He's been like bouncing it off of
You
accounts.
see it, though.
In terms
It's
of
all
the
in the
stories that I
Caymans now.
want to believe that it went to strippers and boobs.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So that's the one I'm going to pick.
Yeah.
He did. That guy definitely picked the best, most newsworthy, sensational story.
And
For
to be
sure.
fair, he, in his video, if he is lying and it's all him, give this man an Oscar. Because the YouTube video he put up where it's just all audio, he's like, hey guys, so Ant Simulator's canceled. Like, he sounds so sad.
He's
So,
heartbroken. He lost not only his money and his game, but his friends.
That's right. And his friends gained a whole bunch of boners.
Well, I mean, Ant Simulator was the project of a lifetime.
Sorry, it's not funny, but it's funny. Him like walking around, and there's video, like pre-alpha footage of like Ant Simulator. He's walking around, and you can be all these different kinds of ants. And who the fuck wants to be an ant?
Well, it was supposed to have a VR tie-in as well, I think.
Who the fuck wants to be a VR ant?
Maybe you don't know until you are an ant.
I really enjoyed both Ants and A Bug's Life.
Wow,
Gonna put that out there.
Ballsy to say you enjoyed ants, because that's like the underdog there.
No shame. Loved them both.
Bug's Life was funny though. Bug's Life was good. Let's talk more about you. You
all like
didn't have
bugs.
kids then.
No, I didn't have
So,
kids then.
well,
that was
I only
like
know
a
it 'cause,
decade
like,
ago,
little
wasn't it?
siblings, so I figured you hadn't seen A Bug's Life.
It's true. I haven't seen A Bug's
There
Life.
you go.
I'm sure I'll catch up to that one sooner or later.
Yeah.
That was another one of those where two movies with essentially the same premise came out so close
Oh
together.
yeah, Hollywood loves that.
It was Pixar and
DreamWorks, maybe? Who
DreamWorks,
knows?
maybe?
The
Yeah.
old double team.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right. I'm going to read this real quick.
speaking of double teams.
This year, don't be predictable and show up at your Valentine's Day dinner with some last-minute box of chocolates or a bouquet of roses that are going to die in a week anyway. Give the gift everyone is talking about. Show your special someone just how much you care with a present you'll both love. A gift that looks great and feels great. Something that says, you deserve the best. Treat yourself and your boo to a matching pair of MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear. This underwear is as comfy as it gets. MeUndies are made of micromodal fabric, meaning that they're twice as soft as cotton, and They don't just feel great, they look great too. MeUndies comes in tons of cool prints and styles, and new designs come out every month. You won't want to miss February's limited edition design from the legendary artist Keith Haring. This retro design is inspired by love, making it the perfect Valentine's Day gift. Grab yourself a pair and celebrate the holiday sporting matching underwear with your sweetheart. And MeUndies has a keep it for free guarantee. If you don't fall in love with your first pair, keep them and you'll get your money back, no questions asked. This year, win Valentine's Day. Head to MeUndies.com/thepatch now to get free shipping and 20% off your first order. Don't wait until the last minute, like I might be doing. Get a matching pair for this month's limited edition print while you still can, and get 20% off your first order at MeUndies.com/thepatch. Order before February 4th in the U.S. and make sure your pair arrives in time for Valentine's Day. That's MeUndies.com/thepatch for free shipping and 20% off your first order of the world's most comfortable underwear.
Do you think
that was
wonderful
really
ad
unintentional.
read? Do you think MeUndies is watching this just to QA whether or not we did the ad read, and they're like, "Oh fuck, so much of our copy sounds like we're gonna double team someone." like completely
Way too much of that
unintentionally,
apply.
Yeah. Show up, but don't have a boring gift. Bring a friend. She's sure to be down for both dicks.
It's all about having a good time, right?
That's right.
You gird yourself with whatever you got. You got to get ready for battle.
Gird those loins.
And if you're not wearing the right, armor,
Right.
maybe she's not interested in your sword.
Yeah. Well, now you made it like medieval, but we're going for MeUndies and dicks.
All right.
Together. Thanks for sponsoring the patch. Bring a lady home. This
So
Valentine's
Peter,
Day.
Molyneux, huh?
Oh man, that story's so good because he said, we covered this last night, but he said that his Twitter got hacked.
Right.
And he tweeted amazing things like that Fable 3 was the worst mistake he's ever made.
Yep.
And then he got his Twitter back and he was like, "Sorry guys, that wasn't me. I would never take gods or goddess or whatever off the market." And then said nothing about Fable 3 being his biggest mistake.
I don't understand. Everyone hates Fable 3. I did not think it was anywhere near as good as Fable 2, but I didn't think it was this kind of widespread joke-worthy. There's so many other games that are more worthy of that. I mean, John Cleese was your fucking butler. How fucking cool is that?
I will say, what gets me about Fable 3 is like the "you were the chosen one" type thing, where Peter Molyneux comes out every year, he promises to change my flippin' life, and how everything is going to be so much more incredible than I could possibly imagine. And Fable 3 was one of the buggiest games that released that year. It was but riddled with bugs.
Which is, I didn't have any of those problems, apparently.
Did you play it all with other people?
No.
See, I played
Who
co-op.
wants to play Fable with other people?
Oh, it was fun. But playing in co-op would be like, "Oh, I've frozen to the ground for some reason. We're both going to have to restart our consoles now. Oh, you're in the dumbest stuff like, oh, you're in your little closet. Now I have to be in your shitty little closet. Why can't I continue on my game?"
You can't have more than one chosen person.
Oh my god.
Chosen one.
That's why
It let me down.
it's
says
chosen one.
one.
I enjoyed the game, and then but it let me down with all these bugs.
Did they ever get rectified, or was it always pretty bad?
No, for as long as I played, they never did.
It drove you away from the game.
It did.
Well,
It
there
did.
hasn't been a Fable 4, so.
Well,
Well,
there's
there's Fable
Legends.
Legends.
Legends, yeah.
But there
Play
hasn't
with
been
your
a Fable
butt.
4.
There was supposed to be one that was like the Wii balance pad Fable. Remember that? I'll Google it. I did a story
How was that
edit
supposed to work?
back at SourceFed, y'all. I members.
Well, it's weird because
You drive it with your ass.
Hey, I like it.
I mean, is that lift and tone, or what are we talking here?
Does it plumb your depths?
I mean, it might tighten them up, make them harder to plumb. You'll have plumb-proof depth. Woof, depth. Daffy Duck.
I thought one of the problems that people had with Fable 3 was that the one where Peter Molyneux came out and was all about the power of touch?
Oh, I think
Where you
okay.
you touch people and you make connections.
Well, he
people.
he drops that line of garbage on every. It's like, oh yeah,
Remember
no,
when
you're
he-
gonna start a family and you'll be an empire.
I
will
started
be
a lot of
legend.
families.
I did. I got
Trying to figure out which
One
family
per
to move into
town.
the castle was a tough one.
The best was the comparative play that would pop up for everything. So it'd be like, "You got an STD. Look at how many STDs your friends have." Oh, Jessica Chobot has 5 STDs. I gotta fucking catch up. Felt the same way.
It's pretty much that was
You Jessica Chobot doesn't have it in the game.
In the game.
I'd never say that. She's a nice lady. In the game, she had more than me, I remember, and I was very upset.
yeah, that was anytime you anytime you banged a prostitute without protection, right?
Yeah, you got not every
What,
not every
100%
time. It was a
guaranteed
gamble. No,
STD?
it was a gamble. I think I banged some without getting it.
I'm pretty sure I got one every single time.
You got to be
Isn't that
careful
terrible?
when you're raw dog.
It's true. Then I had babies running around, and I was like, "Get out of my way, baby!"
Is there like a special item, like a infinite STD proof condom, or
No.
No,
you
you
just kind
had
of
to have
rinse it out
condoms.
every time and you're good to go?
No, you just had to buy new ones.
Yeah, I did like that.
Single
You
use, bro,
rinse
come
it
on.
out. You sick fuck.
It's a
Ryan.
magical
It's
item.
Disgusting.
You just dunk it in the river and it's good to go again.
Disgusting.
Look, Peter Molyneux promised.
Remember when he had that dumb? What was it? Otis or what was it? Ollie or?
The kid. It was
Yeah.
gonna be like the big Connect thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was Otis or.
Well, one of the Fables was going to have a big Connect component too, right?
What is it?
He kept promising things. It's so hard to keep his promises
He
straight.
has so many promises.
Milo.
Milo.
Nah.
You're gonna be able to talk to him and have conversations and.
He's going to be a part of your life.
Oh, I said Otis because of Milo. And That's how that wire's connected. He also Goddess was the one where one person was in it because they tapped the block.
Yes. So remember that there was that like what's in the cube sort of game, and everyone was just like tapping and breaking blocks, and whoever got the one in the center was going to have that reward that would change your life. And it turned out that some dude who had just started the game happened to be the one to get it, and it made him God in Goddess. He was like the god. I don't remember what.
Except he wasn't ever. They never actually got him in there, right? He's now one of the gods. So that's the other weird thing that happened in conjunction with this was they dropped a new Goddess game, like Goddess World or Wars. What is it? Which I never got the impression that anybody was happy with the original.
No.
Is it? It's Goddess,
Goddess,
right? It's
yeah.
not Goddess.
Yeah, it's just
No,
I think it's
Goddess.
just Goddess.
Like people hated that game because it was such an incomplete piece of junk that he crowdsourced and then
Goddess
never
Wars
delivered on.
is what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
Goddess Wars.
Which is unfortunate because I never ended up playing the game because I heard so many terrible things about it, but I loved the look of it. I really liked the style. I thought that sort of it reminded me of those maps that are all based on elevation,
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
where all the different tiers and stuff are just laid out, and the game itself looks like that to me. I thought it was a really unique look, especially because it was during this time where like Minecraft was at its height. Everyone's making these block games, and I thought this was a nice different take on that kind of aesthetic. But it doesn't help much if the game's no good.
He also promised, I'm going to look it up here so I don't get this wrong, but he also promised the winner part of the like revenue of the game.
Yeah, like
Right.
a percentage of revenue.
Yeah.
Only I guess
the
I don't
winner
think it
was
made
Brian
any.
Henson.
He is apparently one of the gods in Goddess Wars because
Brian?
it's like a Brian, our
Brian.
Lord and Savior,
Brian with a Y. Henson. But apparently he never got his original reward. Sorry. Let's see, there's a Wired article here that is from this year, January 27th of this year, and it was
Okay,
a
so a
prize
couple
that
days ago.
Brian Henderson had never received his prizes. Yes, he got his. Peter Molyneux called it a life-changing, amazing by any definition reward. Turned out to be a starring role in Goddess. He was 18 when he won. He became the God of Gods, and those features. Oh, he was supposed to be the God of Gods, a standing that was to be battled over by players in the God Sims multiplayer modes, but however, those modes never launched, and 2 years after Curiosity ended, Henderson had been forgotten.
Oh,
Well, so he was like a real god.
to be clear,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sure
True.
people like he in his life still remember him. That's a very strange
not-
way to
he's not
phrase
that
it. Like,
forgotten.
no, we burned him out of existence. His disappointment was so great that even his family forgot about him.
That's so sad. So, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep reading this. There was apparently a part of Humble Bundle is helping him get some prizes. They said, we empathize with Brian and how he must have felt after coming to the realization that the amazing prize he had won would never be delivered. We decided that we wanted to do something to make him whole and approached him to participate in our first bundle.
I don't appreciate them thinking that he's not a whole person without their
Aw,
prizes.
no, making them whole is like a UK saying for like making it up to you. It's a Wired UK.
Okay, well then I'll accept it because otherwise, like, goddamn, Wired.
Yeah,
You remember that free stuff you were gonna get? You don't get it anymore.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's so
I like to
sad.
think that they're like, oh, it's he's devastated, and he's probably just sitting down there being like,
Yeah, whatever.
oh.
That's like the guy who won the contest to be in A Link to the Past, and he got his own room, and then it's impossible to get to in the regular game. So he like was like, guys, I won this contest. I'm gonna be in the next Zelda game, and nobody could find his damn room. Poor guy.
Well, look, now Brian is finally memorialized because
Yes.
he's one of the gods in Goddess Wars. My question is, how do you get to make Goddess Wars when you make Goddess and everyone hates it?
Because you're Peter Molyneux.
What does that mean? All its name is synonymous with his broken promises and shattered
That
dreams.
is true. Why did they keep bringing him back, Ryan?
Here's the thing.
Why?
I like Molyneux. I understand that he is a chronic overpromiser, and
Yes.
that you have to take the kinds of things that he promises and then say, all right, well, technically, what's actually possible? Like, what's the seed in there that we're gonna get?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when there's a Carl Pilkington joke that he says if he had a superhero, he would be Bullshit Man, where somebody would be bullshitting and he would fly in and be like, bullshit, and they would just have to accept that it was bullshit. He would have to follow that guy around all day, because that's all Peter Molyneux does.
Yeah.
Is spell bullshit.
Peter Molyneux is the E3 presentation of every game that's ever been released.
That's right.
That's it. I mean, he's
And he also goes to E3 and
I'm sure he
ruins
does.
presentations.
What, has he been ruining someone's
No, he just
presentations?
overpromises everything.
For a minute there,
I
I thought
mean,
he just got
Milo
drunk and
was-
stumbled on the stage like, your game looks great. No, I'm going to let you finish. You're great. But
He's not the Little Big Planet people that stumbled onto the stage drunk and ruined their Little Big Planet presentation.
Maybe the secret is just to ignore him altogether and take the games at their own value.
Yeah?
Because I really enjoy a lot of the games. I mean, I've been a fan since Black and White. I'm not, as far back as Populous, or Dungeon Keeper, but I started with those games of Black and White. Loved it. Had no idea who he was. I just bought it because I liked the box. It was black on one side and white on the other side. It had two flaps. You guys remember when games had boxes, and then there'd be the flap you open and it's got the art inside. It's super cool. One side was black, one side was white, and they showed you like your world is an evil god and your world is a cool god, and I was like, yeah, I'm on board. I can be sold by a box.
What's up with him and gods?
He really likes God games. That's his whole thing. And, Populous, Dungeon Keeper, Black and White 2.
Fable to some extent,
Goddess.
because you end up being like, you shape your whole kingdom based on your own behavior.
go figure, guy has delusions of grandeur.
Okay, welcome to every
life-changing.
video game ever. What about video games where you just go about shopping? He changes the world by your actions in every game. That's the
true.
whole point.
Well, sure, but I'm saying like the physical environment. Like if you're evil, it's like darker and more sinister in Fable. And your appearance changes as well.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
So
Those are great features. I mean, honestly, like he delivering on a 10th of what he promises. Usually that 10th is decent.
Yeah.
It's just that it's like he's the dreamer and no one's there to rein him in. Like he needs somebody
he needs some no men.
Yeah, like Peter, that will cost $4 million more than we have. Please don't say that anymore.
I think he actually admitted that a little while back, that he is a dreamer and his dreams outpace technology a lot. But, he's this he's got that eternal child thing going on where he's just super excited about everything. That's one of the things that makes him such a good speaker, even if he's not going to be able to deliver, is he fully, he believes, he's on board, he has this vision, he's fully committed to it, he's really excited about it, and it's kind of addictive. I like seeing dreamers, and I get it, technology does not always work out that way, because you have to be like, all right, let's take that, let's dial it back to current pixels.
I understand that, and yes, it is nice to see dreamers talk about their dreams, but you're also a businessman when you're selling something to consumers.
That's why he
And
shouldn't have been running a studio.
Absolutely.
He's a wonderful, wonderful creative, but could use business people to sit him down and work all that stuff out before you talk to people.
Yeah, I just think there's a line between dreamer and liar.
Wow, Meg's
Whoa.
bitter.
I'm just saying, I'm not
Salty.
calling him, I'm just saying, if you overpromise forever, yes, you're a dreamer, but also you've told me lies.
He told you dreams, man.
Is it a lie
I'm
if
gonna
you-
say that now whenever I lie to Gavin. I'm gonna be like, I told you a dream.
Is it a lie if he believes it?
It's exactly like, I'll be ready in 10 minutes, and I'm actually ready in 15 minutes. I'm sorry, I told you a dream of when I would be ready.
Well, I mean,
That-
at least
that is
you
a
were ready.
dream.
I mean, in 15 minutes, you came out done.
Right.
Right, because here's the thing: is I probably would say that, would legitimately believe I was going to be ready in 10 minutes.
That's true.
I'm sure I could
It's
do
still
it.
a lie.
But technology just wasn't with me.
It's still a lie.
Well, on that note, we'll be back next week. If this isn't a lie, I'm not sure. I think we actually
I'm
have.
telling you a dream.
It's all a
of next
dream.
We will
week.
have a game club this week. So check back if you would like to see us talk about Zoom beanies
This coming week.
this coming week.
Right, so it'll be, this is now. This is
This is
live.
now.
Right. The next
When
Wednesday.
will now be later?
Nope. The next Wednesday we'll have a dream club. Damn it!
No, well, we're not streaming. We're not streaming Game
No.
Club, but it will be out tomorrow.
Ha!
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
Okay.
knew
Yes.
things.
Because we're trying to keep it first week of the month, but studio recording times and everything, and also our own scheduling gets a little bit difficult. So we're gonna record first thing in the morning and release tomorrow afternoon.
Ashley
So-
told you a dream of what happened, but the real truth is Ryan didn't play the fucking game.
Hey.
You didn't
and
do your
Gus
homework.
couldn't
We
be
switched
here.
to do your homework.
We switched to
Thank
a
you for
month, so
joining
everyone
us.
had
This has
plenty of
been-
time to play the game.
This has been a lovely episode of The Patch. We'll see you next week.
Bye.